All right, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome on into today's special edition, breaking edition of Phillies Talk Live. As we're unfortunately talking about some really bad news, as yesterday the Phillies in a spring training game against the Tigers suffer a big blow that has big implications on this upcoming season. Rhys Hoskins goes up for a routine pop-up by first base, and as he's backtracking, going for the ball, he essentially loses his grounding, and he's holding his left knee right off the bat. He goes right to the ground, holding the knee, and everyone's first reaction is absolutely negative because how can you not? Because it's obviously a non-contact injury, and we have seen this countless of times before, especially as Phillies fans. And so our minds were in shit, absolute shit at that point. You see him kind of, hobbling around. He gets carted off, and the news came out. It's an ACL injury. We don't know the exact timetable. The Phillies did put out a tweet later on in the day, and there's really not a lot of full details about Rhys Hoskins' injury. But unfortunately, right now, considering the fact that it is an ACL injury, considering the fact that it was non-contact, the worst-case scenario that we're all thinking about is he's done for the season because how can you not? And this is absolutely terrible for a guy like Rhys Hoskins, who was going into a contract year, who dealt with so much criticism following that World Series loss to the Astros. And he was really looking to prove it not only to himself, to his fan base, but also to his pockets as well. And for him to go down like that, that's absolutely terrible. You know me, first off, it's about the player. These guys are human beings. And for a guy like Rhys Hoskins, I can only imagine what it is that he's going through. And it definitely does suck. And the Phillies are going to have to find a way to replace that production, that leadership. He is so important to this baseball team. A lot of people don't realize it. And for all the hate that he has gotten over this offseason, I really, really think you guys are going to be super disappointed when you are proven wrong, when you are missing Rhys Hoskins. Because the thing is that you're already without Bryce Harper. And you could feel fine about this team without Bryce Harper because you still got Rhys Hoskins, and you know that he can get hot. And when he's hot, he's one of the best hitters in this league. You still have JT, you still got Castellanos, Schwarber, Trey Turner, and all of the above. But Rhys being down, being one of those big bats, those lead bats in this lineup, it definitely sucks. That was a guy who I was considering putting at the 3, the 2 or 3, somewhere where I was thinking about putting Rhys Hoskins, changing him with Trey and Kyle Schwarber. And now, Rob Thompson, you still got bats. It's not really the problem. And the problem right now is obviously what do you do at first base? Because first base in general, it is really hard to find good first basemen in this day and age. There's only like a select few. And right now, there's really no one out there that you can just pluck and put in there and have an everyday starting first baseman. Probably what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to look internally. You do have some options. I mean, you obviously, I think the one that I keep hearing is moving Alec Bohm from third to first and moving Sosa there. You could move Sosa to first base. I don't think he's an everyday option, but he is pretty versatile throughout the infield. Another big one that you can really try to use is Derek Hall. The problem is Derek Hall, as much power that he gets, struggles against righties. And he's not really the best fielder out there as well. So it just kind of feels like what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to platoon that position. I think realistically at this situation at this time, I think that a guy like Brad Miller would be great, but where the hell is a Brad Miller out there? A sub 200 batter who can give you some solid defense. And unfortunately, those type of dudes are just not out there. So although, first before anything else, I feel for Rhys, and thoughts and prayers go out to him, man. But this really does put this team in a bad spot. And then how are you going to replace? Look at last year's lineups, 2022 in playoffs in total, 589 at bats. He had 145 hits, 79 RBIs, and 30 home runs at a 246 batting average. How are you going to replace that? Moneyball all you want. I mean, that was a big part of your lineup, especially for. We know this Phillies team don't play no damn defense. It's all about hitting the ball out of that damn CBP. And, it definitely hurts a little bit, the fact that he's not going to be in that lineup. I think now what you're going to see is probably Alec Bohm getting the play at first, moving Edmundo Sosa to third base. The batting lineup, I mean, I think that you still go Trey Turner leading off with Kyle Schwarber. Or, I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean, I guess now you're gonna have to put Kyle Schwarber leave him at the 3, maybe move JT to the 2, move Castellanos up to the 4, Alec Boehm at the 5 slot. Um, I guess now what you can do is run with Bryce. No, not Bryce. I would definitely go with Stott, Marsh, and Sosa as your ladder 3 at the 9, 8, and 7. And then who am I blanking on at the 6? We got JT, we got Trey, we got no, we didn't get Trey. No, Trey leading off. So Trey Turner, you're gonna get JT Real Muto, then Kyle Schwarber, and then Nick Castellanos, Alec Boehm, and then why am I blanking on who is going to be? Who am I missing here? We got Stott, JT. Move this out the way. Alec Boehm. Yeah. So why am I missing this? I really should be writing these down. So we got Trey Turner. You got JT Real Muto. You got Kyle Schwarber. You're going to have Nick Castellanos, Alec Boehm, Bryson Stott, Brandon Marsh, and Edmundo Sosa. That's really what you're probably going to have to roll with. And the other argument that you're going to hear a lot about is the fact that guys are out there playing in meaningless baseball. You're hearing the argument during the WBC. You're hearing the argument during spring training. And obviously, listen, guys have been going out there playing in spring training forever now. It should come at no surprise. These type of injuries do happen. It is unfortunate. It definitely sucks, and it happens in every single sport. The WBC argument is absolutely stupid, and it's very ignorant as well. The fact that you don't understand country pride, especially playing in sports, that's a whole other topic for a different story. But, I mean, if you're going to really sit there and be upset that Rhys Hoskins was playing a spring training game when everyone else has been doing it, I mean, I think you're arguing with the wrong person if I'm being 100% honest with you. It is what it is. We're going to see what the news we got. We have to wait for the news. It's really what it is. We got to wait for the news. We got to wait if Dombrowski wants to stay put or if he wants to make a move or 2 or 3, whatever he really wants to do. So we're going to have to wait here and see as to what that'll be. But it definitely sucks. But we're going to have to move forward. And this is what happens. And for everyone who says the season's over, the good news is that this happened early on in the season. You're obviously missing the bat, the leadership, but you saw how this team rallied around Bryce Harper's injury, right? And I think the same thing can be said about the Rhys. But now there's no Rhys and there's no Bryce whatsoever. So who's going to step up? Guys like JT, guys like Kyle. I know Trey is new, but he's going to have to step up. Listen, Alec Boehm is a young pup, but no more. He's got to step up as well, and it's got to be a collective effort. And, I really do trust this dugout because of Topper, and Topper's been able to keep these guys at even keel. Derek Hall, that's who I forgot, Derek Hall. So you got to remember the whole lefty-righty shenanigans. So I probably we'd have to revisit this, but I probably it sucks because you got Hall, Marsh, and I think Sosa actually is. Let me double check. I think Sosa actually as well is a lefty too. Let me just double check. Or no, he's a righty. They're right. Yeah, he bats right. So you're probably gonna have to bat with 2 guys at the latter part of the lineup, batting as a lefty there. So you go Derek Hall at the 6, Edmundo Sosa at the 7, then Stott and Marsh 8 and 9. But yeah, you got a surplus of lefties. We'll see if Dombrowski does any moves, but for right now, all we know, it's an ACL injury. Timetable, just expect a significant amount of time. Let's put it that way. But we'll see how they do recover. That's going to do it for today's edition of Phillies Talk Live. We had to talk real quick about the Rhys news because it is a very, very big deal, and we'll see how this team responds. But thanks so much for watching, guys. Make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe for more Phillies sports. We'll keep you up to date with anything else Phillies related. But you guys enjoy the rest of your day and stay tuned for some more Phillies sports content.